Hey all, Bree from the No Guilt Mom podcast, and I have got a gift for you this holiday season. If you love the No Guilt Mom podcast, and I mean love the No Guilt Mom podcast, then tell us about it. Leave us a review, and you can be entered to win a No Guilt Mom gift card. All you have to do is leave a review, take a screenshot, and then simply go to noguiltmom.com/review to enter our giveaway for a free No Guilt Mom gift card, simply for telling us what you think about the podcast. It is amazing. But don't delay. Get right on this, as we're going to be giving away that No Guilt Mom gift card on December 21st. So get right on over and visit noguiltmom.com/review.
Welcome to the No Guilt Mom podcast. It is Joanne here today, and I am so excited to introduce you to Donna, one of our Balance VIP members. And I have just seen such a change come over Donna ever since she joined Balance VIP to where she is now. And she has some tips for you if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you are feeling all of the anxiety and the feeling that you need to control your situation and what is happening with kids. Oh my gosh, this is not to be missed. So welcome, Donna. I'm so excited.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here. I'm excited to be able to share my story and help out any other moms out there.
So let's talk a little bit about right before I first met you. What was going on in your life before you joined Balance?
So I've been in Balance I guess it's a year and a half now. So before I joined Balance, I had a lot of control issues with my kids. So my kids are now 12 and 13, respectively. I have one of each. And I always had to have the control. I would make the decisions. I would do everything. I would make their lunches, do their laundry. And I was a stay-at-home mom working part-time. And so it was easy for me to do all these things. However, I got to a breaking point. And a few years ago, I keep calling it a mini nervous breakdown. And I had to go to my doctor and I had to ask for help. And I was never the type of person to want to do that. And I sat in my doctor's office with my little boy sitting on the floor playing, and I cried and I said, I need help. And so we worked out a plan, and I am on a low dose anti-anxiety medication. And over the last few years, it has really helped me become calmer, able to think before I take some action. However, I've also, in the past, before I joined Balance, I have done some mom groups. I've taken courses through some community groups and whatnot. And then I found No Guilt Mom. And I still had that control. COVID happened, so we were all home, and it was overwhelming to be able to homeschool. I wasn't working. My husband was working from home. So it was a lot, and it's a lot for everybody.
It is a lot. It is a lot for everybody. And like that. So first of all, thank you for being so vulnerable with the anxiety medication too, because it's such a hot button issue for people. Like I have to say, I am on anxiety medication as well. And what you were describing with the effects on it, like just, it takes everything from this alarm level down to this manageable level where your body's not responding with like the fast beating heart and like the automatic clenching of the stomach that you can't let go of no matter how many breathing exercises that you do. So like I am all for using medication as a tool. It is the most helpful thing in the world.
And the way the doctor described it to me was, some of our brains don't work as a normal brain. So what the medication does is it gets those synapses working together so you can get out of that fight or flight stage. My whole brain, I felt, was that fight or flight until I actually had to go to the doctor and do this, and then joining No Guilt Mom has just helped even more.
So, like, tell me about some of the changes that you put into place when you joined us in terms of the control that you felt that you had to have.
One thing that my new motto, my old motto used to be this too shall pass, and I still have that sometimes, but my new model is I'm walking alongside with my kids. Instead of
Mm.
that hierarchy, I have to do everything. I have to teach them everything. I have to have that control. So now I'm listening more, and we're walking along and we're having conversations, and it's not perfect. Um, this morning, my daughter was like, "Can you say excuse me?" And I was just helping her in the bathroom. And she's like, I'm like, "Okay, I will." So, I still get that.
Oh yeah, no, and it's exactly how it should be. Like, because it's definitely not perfect when we give up that control thing. And I love that you described it that way, where you were up at this authoritarian level where you thought you had to kind of make all the rules and shape
Yeah.
them, and you went more side by side with
Yeah.
them and the listening. And you mentioned the listening. So like, how would like that interaction have been different this morning when your daughter was like, excuse me, like, how would you have responded before?
Well, I probably wouldn't have let her in the bathroom, first of all. So it would
Oh.
probably wouldn't have happened because I would have just stayed out. And we
Mm.
probably would have started our morning off with, "Are you doing this? Get your bed made, get yourself dressed, why aren't you doing all this stuff?" I don't do any of that anymore. Thank you. No, good
That's
mom.
amazing.
We don't do any of that anymore. Yes, she's 13 and my son is 12, but if I still had all that control, I'd still be saying, "Have you done this? Have you done that? Have you done this?" But we've given them the responsibility. So if you're not out the door by 8:25, dad's leaving without you and you don't get a ride to school and you walk. So they have to do everything for themselves.
Yes. And like, how does that feel now that you don't have to how
Oh
has
my
it changed your
gosh.
relationship with your
Oh,
kids?
it's amazing. Um, my kids and I don't fight. I don't, my kids' rooms might be a mess, but I don't react.
Mhm.
Or they don't. I think because we're all working now as a team, so they have their things that they have to do, and we have our things we have to do. And if I decide I want to help them, I will. So, for example, they do their own laundry. Well, I decided today that I was going to do my daughter's laundry for her, just because.
Mhm.
It's been a long week,
Yeah.
and yeah, I just thought I'm just going to throw it in the wash. And my husband's like, "You shouldn't do that." I'm like, I'm just doing a favor for her. It's okay.
Yeah, and it's totally okay because that's the kind of things that we want our kids to do for
Others,
others.
yes,
And I bet your daughter was really thankful and she was
yeah.
surprised that you did her laundry too. Like what has
She hasn't come home yet,
does
so
she know you
no,
did it? Oh.
no,
So yeah, I have that too with my kids because I mean they do their own laundry and anytime I do something for them that they is their job,
yeah,
they're like, "Oh my gosh, mom,
yeah,
thank you. Like I really needed
and
that."
she will be very grateful. Yeah, she will be, and she is. She's so grateful, and there's no screaming in the house anymore. She's got her moods and stuff, but more or less.
As every teenager does.
but
Yes,
but
yes,
I
yes. It's
don't
hard.
I don't react. So before No Guilt Mom, I would have reacted, and I would have been ashamed, embarrassed, guilt. My neighbors would have heard us. My my mother-in-law who lives with us would have been downstairs feeling the clenching of her tummy because she's hearing the screaming. Because
Mm.
before it was every day, not once a week, not once a month. It was
Mhm.
every day. It was awful. It's awful. Sorry.
What kind of advice would you give to people who are in a situation that you were where they feel like they need to control everything?
Yeah. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Because I was afraid to ask for help. I was afraid of that whole, "Oh, you're going to go on drugs or you've got to do this and you don't need it." And it was really hard for me to accept that. well, not even accept it, just to make that step. There is a community out there. Find it, whether it's in No Guilt Mom, whether it's in a community group of moms in your neighborhood, whether it's in person or not. There are people out there, maybe not in the exact same situation, but there are groups out there that can help you and can listen and just be a sounding board. You're not alone. You're not. And that's one thing is I always felt like I was alone and everyone was doing it right. What was wrong with me?
And it's totally not true. And
Yeah.
I hope that like being in balance too, you see that like so many moms experience the exact same thing that you described right here.
Yeah.
And so if you're listening to this and you feel like you're alone, know that there is help out there and that you don't need to be suffering like this. You don't have to be suffering like this. So thank you so much, Donna, for sharing your story and coming on the podcast. I so appreciate you. If you want to learn more about our balance group and join me and join Donna in it, there is a link right in the show notes, but you can just go to our site, noguiltmom.com, and click on courses and you'll see balance right in there. So until next time, remember, the best mom's a happy mom. Take care of you. I'll talk to you later.
Are you looking for something to listen to with your whole family? Then check out 6 Minutes, produced and created by Gen Z Media. With over 200 twisty, cliffhanger-filled episodes, 6 Minutes tells the story of 11-year-old Holiday who is pulled from the icy waters with no memory of who she is or where she came from.
3 years ago, Brinley Pasternak helped the Anders family uncover the truth about Holiday's past. Now she'll need them to help her find the truth about hers. In 6 Minutes Out of Time, the long-awaited sequel, Cyrus Anders is found unconscious near the mysterious Elixir Academy in Florida, and Brinley learns the school may have a shocking connection to her missing mother.
Dive in now and get the most downloaded family audio adventure in history. Follow 6 Minutes wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen early and ad-free with the GZM family subscription.